YouTube is just fantastic because we can communicate with each other. You can blog me, you can leave information and say, this is really helping me, this is helping me, and then I can get back on the blog and say, da-da-da, emailed me from France and said that this helped her more. Or da-da-da, emailed me from Australia and said this was the greatest thing. Anyway, so we can communicate. We don't have to isolate ourselves. You can communicate with me via my website, which is youcanexercisewithms.com, where I go a lot further into exercise. Not so much the training, but strengthening muscles that you need for walking and this, that and the other. Now, what I want to talk to you about now is something that I brushed on when we were doing some training walking, which is the wheelchair. Now, if you go to my site, I've written a blog which kind of says the wheelchair is not your friend. And it's not. Because you really, that's the last thing you want to do is get in that chair. Because once you're in the chair, it's a one-way trip and you will not get out. Now, one thing I would like you to do is on my channel, they're all different vlogs that I have watched. Now, there is a vlog, UCT Television. And if you click over, it's quite a long program, but I think it was made in Canada, I'm not sure. And they're interviewing a doctor from San Diego. And this doctor from San Diego talks about, drugs and da-da-da. And while they're talking about, they're interviewing this doctor to define what MS is and what they're doing, the drugs and blah, blah. They interview 5 different people. Now, the reason that I want you to watch this video is because one of the men, the oldest man, he is in a wheelchair, and he says, he talks about starting yoga and going to a physiotherapist. And he says, I know that if I did this 12 or 15 years ago, I wouldn't be in a chair today. I don't want you to listen to me, listen to him. He's talking from experience. And I agree with that. I agree with what he's saying. There's also another woman who says, I've been on interferon, then I went on to Copaxone, and then I went on to betaferon, or whatever they are, the 3 drugs. Now I don't take anything. Now that's a very common thing with multiple sclerosis, that people do go through all the different drugs and then end up not taking because they don't work anymore, because you have an autoimmune system, which basically means that whatever drug you take stops being effective after about 6 months. Okay, just know that. Okay, so you cannot rely on these drugs for the rest of your life. So please watch that video because it will give you a lot of information. Please know that I believe, this is just my belief and I could be completely wrong, you can teach your brain like a child. You can show your brain how you can walk again. And don't get in a wheelchair. Go to my site, click on the blog. It says, please click here, blog. And I talk about the wheelchair is not your friend. Okay, it's like that witch with the apple and Snow White says, oh, eat my beautiful apple. And she's dying for this apple. And she takes a bite and she's close. So the wheelchair, oh, you're so tired, you just want to sit, you can't walk anymore. I understand it's appealing. But really, the long-term effects of a wheelchair is not good. What is good? Training walking, yoga, physiotherapy, exercise. See you in a minute. Okay.